The reason that we get so dysregulated is because we didn't know that we were actually dysregulated earlier.
Are you overwhelmed by motherhood and barely keeping your head above water? Are you confused and frustrated by how all the other moms make it look so easy? You can't figure out how to manage the chaos in your mind, your home, or your family. I get you, mama. Parenting with ADHD is hard. Here is your permission slip to let go of the Pinterest-worthy visions of organization and structure fit for everyone else. Let's do life like our brains do life. Creatively, lovingly, and with all our might. When we embrace who we are and how our brains work, we can figure out how to live our lives successfully and, in turn, lead our families well. At the end of the day, we just want to be good moms. But, spoiler alert, you are already a great mom. ADHD does not mean you're doomed to be a hot mess, mama. You can rewrite your story from shame spiral to success story. And I'll be right here beside you to cheer you on. Welcome to Motherhood in ADHD. Hey there, successful mama. It's your friend, Patricia Sung.
Ooh, I have missed being here with you. I miss our talks. And while I know that writing this book is really important, this is still my first love. I love talking to you every week. So I am adding in a couple of episodes this month because I miss not being here with you every week. And I will probably have to go back to every other week over the summer. But until then, I'm going to add a couple in because I want to hang out. So today I'm sharing 5 hacks. I don't know if they're life hacks, mom hacks, ADHD hacks, things that I do regularly that really make my life easier. And what inspired this is that I had a friend over a little while ago, and it was the first time that they'd been to our house, and my boys were showing her boys their rooms. And after about 5 minutes of walking around upstairs, she looks at me and goes, I have learned more ADHD tips in the last 5 minutes than I thought possible. Like, there are just so many things that I do in my regular life that I forget, like, are helpful to other people because I've known that I've had ADHD for 25 years. So at this point, there's so many things that are ingrained in the way that I do things that make sense for my brain. I forget that other people don't know these things. So I'm sharing 5 that are really making a difference right now. And I made myself stop at 5 because I could have gone on for a really long time. And I'm editing and keeping my life simple. So I'm going to share 5 hacks that are really helping me right now. Before I jump into the 5 hacks, a reminder that tickets for the annual retreat are on sale now. So head over to patriciasung.com/retreat. Check out all the details, put me on the calendar, grab your ticket, and let's hang out in October. That's patriciasung.com/retreat. All right, let's jump in. Number 1 is a packing list. I have a packing list for everything. I have a free packing list that you can download. I will stick it in the show notes here. Also, like my preparation plans of how I get ready for a trip. But I don't like come up with a list of things to bring every time I go somewhere. I have it all written down and I just copy and paste it, tweak it for what I need, and move on. So my packing list is like 90% done every time and I reuse it. So this weekend, I'm going to see my sister. Copy, paste, tweak, print, move along. But I keep on the list all of the things. So like there are swimsuits on there and there are also like winter coats on there. So I'm just deleting the things that I don't need rather than trying to come up with all the things that I do need. And I use this philosophy not just for packing for a weekend trip or a vacation. I use this for like when my kids are still in diapers. I had a list of things that needed to be in the diaper bag. You can use this for soccer gear or a dance bag, like anything that you're repeatedly gathering supplies for over and over again. Make a list, print it out, keep it in the bag. Like my diaperless bag lived in the diaper bag pocket so that when I'd come home, I'd clean out all the garbage and throw away the dirty stuff and, put the dirty laundry in the basket and then refill with what I needed so that it was always ready to go. But doing this lessens the decision fatigue so that you're not constantly trying to come up with the same thing over and over again. No. We are making this efficient. We're thinking about it one time. And yes, it may have to get adjusted through time, but adjusting is, once every few months or once a year. This takes a huge weight off my mental plate. So that's number 1. Number 2 is my medicine, my pill boxes. I put my medicine in the day of the week pill boxes, Saturday through Sunday ones. But it's not just the 1 week. I actually do the whole month when I get my prescription. So when you are taking a stimulant, you can usually only get the 30-day supply. So I fill the 4 boxes up and they're ready to go for each week. So not only do I not have to worry, like, did I remember to take the medicine today? Did I not remember? I don't know. I can always go look in the box and see, like, you're not trying to count them out and figure it out. No, I look at the box and see, is Monday opened and empty, or does Monday still have medicine in it? Voila. But the kicker is that because I put the whole month in the pillboxes, when I get to the 4th pillbox, I know that it is now time to reorder my medicine. So that's my reminder of like, oh, look, there's no more here. Now I need to submit the request to get the prescription again. So that has really been helpful because a lot of times I was like, I don't know, when's it time to do that? And I have a reminder on my calendar, which usually I remember, but like sometimes, the reminder pops up when I am not able to do the thing. And just having more reminders is helpful to me. So that is a physical reminder of like, hey, look, you're pulling back the empty one, because when I use it, I put the empty one behind the stack. So when I see that I'm pulling out the last one and I have 3 empties and 1 last one, it's like, okay, this is the time I need to do the refill. Okay, that is number 2. Pillboxes, but for the whole month, so you know when to reorder the medicine. Number 3, Alexa routines. I live by my Echo Dot. It keeps me on task all the time. I admittedly have been trying to lessen my purchasing at big box places and trying to do more small shopping, but I already bought this thing, so I'm gonna keep using it. So I have routines set up for the morning that tell me it's time to get up, it's time to go downstairs, it's time to brush teeth. And I have it set up that it's talking to my kids and telling them like, okay, you have 5 more minutes left to eat your breakfast or whatever. But I also go in with the attitude that like, yes, she's telling my kids what they need to do, but really she's telling me that I need to tell my kids to move along to the next step, because my kids will tend to tune her out. And, sometimes I go in and change it up a little bit so that it's surprising. And like, it's not their job to keep the time. It's my job to keep the time, but I'm terrible at time. So I use Alexa to run my time for me. And then I don't have to hold that mental load or the panic or the guilt of losing track of time. She's there all day telling me like, how much time I have left before we need to leave for school. And that has been working for us since my oldest was in kindergarten. He's in 4th grade this year. So it's been 5 years where she's been running my mornings for me. Now, I actually just started implementing that into the afternoons, which is not smooth yet. We're still working it out. The days that we have piano are different than the days we have tennis, which are different than the days we don't have something. So we're still smoothing it all out. But using that to keep on task, which again, they tend to tune her out, but it's the reminder for me to be like, okay, like snack time is over. We are done relaxing. It's now time to go to the next responsibility that we need to get done, or we need to get in the car to go to this place. Get your water bottle ready. Like, let's move along. Because if I don't have somebody or something telling me, hey, it's almost time to go, like my brain knows it's time to go, but then my brain did not pack up the things. And I haven't told my kids to like go to the restroom, put your shoes on, all that stuff. And like all that stuff takes time that my brain does not account for. So I need an outside something to keep track of that. You can do this with any smart speaker. It doesn't have to be specifically this brand. If you do use this brand, I have templates in my morning routine course that you can just like, you download the link and it automatically like uploads the template into your app, and then you can just adjust it from there. So if you want that, I will put the link in the show notes. But she runs my day when I have to be somewhere at a certain time. And that takes a huge weight off of me knowing what time things are, where we need to be. And like, yes, it's not foolproof because sometimes our schedules change, but like 95% of the time, probably she's keeping me on time. And that's significantly better than I would do on my own. So that's a 1.
It's time to be who you are unapologetically. No more contorting or shrinking yourself to fit inside the box. Instead, you're going to feel the freedom of just being yourself because you are more accepting of who you truly are. You're invited, Mama, to this year's 4th annual Successful as a Mother weekend retreat. It is time to relax, unwind, rest, and take care of a very important person in the family, which is you. This year's retreat is on October 10th through 12th, 2025, and you are invited. This is an all-inclusive retreat. It covers your meals, your hotel, all of your activities. You literally only have to show up, and I will take it from there. We are staying at the peaceful Happy Goat Retreat just outside of Houston, Texas. I have rented the entire property, so we have it all to ourselves, where we will enjoy nature and breathe deep in the fresh air and the calm of the lake and the sway of the trees. But this is not camping, this is glamping. You will stay in your very own adorable, modern, tiny home with your own comfy queen-size bed, your own private bathroom, and living space that's just for you. Go check out the pictures I posted on my website because it is so cute! We will spend the weekend learning about our ADHD and tune into who you are and what you need so that you can trust your gut and love yourself a little bit more. All while eating delicious food you didn't cook, you didn't clean up, and hanging out with awesome other ADHD mamas who are just like you in this journey of understanding ADHD and also trying to do all the things, but not this weekend. This weekend, you are doing none of the things. You are relaxing. I will take care of everything and you get to focus on you. Head over to my website, patriciasung.com/retreat and get your ticket. This is a small group of 14 mamas, and we already have 6 moms signed up, so I don't have a ton of spots left. Do not wait. Do not procrastinate. When you hear this and know this is for you, go get your ticket. Early bird tickets are available until the end of May, and you get a few bonuses by signing up early. Number 1, there's a shrinking payment plan available. You can spread your payments out farther when you sign up earlier. There's no extra charge for that. 2, you get to choose your room. Currently, there are 4 standard tiny homes called the Bijou available and 4 deluxe tiny homes available. So get your room now so you get first dibs on the type of tiny home that you want to stay in. Number 3, everyone who buys an early bird ticket is invited to a bonus group coaching session over the weekend. Here we can dive into the specifics of what you're struggling with and identify what you want to work on going forward so that you leave the weekend feeling even more confident. And then 4, obviously you get to look forward to this trip all summer long. So go sign up. Get your ticket and take a weekend to relax and take care of yourself while I do all the work. Head over to patriciasung.com/retreat and get your ticket for the 4th annual ADHD Moms Amazing Getaway Weekend and relax. patriciasung.com/retreat.
Okay, number 4. This I brought up in my Friday morning prayer group the other day that someone else was struggling with something. And I was like, ooh, our marriage counselor gave us this idea and it's been working really well for us. I shared it there and the moms were all like, oh my gosh, this is really helpful. And I was like, I should share this with you. So in one of our recent counseling sessions, we were struggling with, like, if you've been here for a minute, you know, my husband was working from home for the last 5 years and now he's in an office building. So he's gone, 9 to 5, which actually is more like 6, sometimes 7, and he's traveling a lot. Like, he would walk in the door and I would be mad. And he felt like he was walking into World War III, where everybody's grumpy, everyone's dysregulated. It has been a rough transition, my dear, a rough transition. And it's now April, so we've been doing this for a little over 3 months, and I feel like we're starting to get the hang of it. It took a good probably 2.5 months till it felt better. And, we're pushing on 3.5 months now, and it feels doable in the last 2 weeks. So when you go through these really big transitions, or a big life shift, then that means that the transition is a bigger shift and it's going to take longer to adjust to. The more effect it has on your life, the longer the transition is going to be. And in that way, I'm really thankful that I know that I have ADHD and that transitions are really hard for me, because it's given me a lot more grace to get through this season of knowing this is the yucky part, this is the messy middle where we're changing the way we do things, and it's been hard. But anyway, point being, my husband comes home and he's like, oh my gosh, things are falling apart. And not every day, but on the days where things were falling apart, he walks in and he feels like he gets blindsided by what's going on. And then he's not really mentally prepared for the chaos. So in our counseling session, we were talking this through, and he's like, if I know that things are hard right now, or you're at the end of your patience, he's like, I can gather myself together and walk in knowing that that's what I need to do. But if I don't know that that's coming, then I don't do well. And I'm like, okay, well, I hear you. That makes sense. So what our counselor suggested we do is that about an hour before he gets home, the earliest that he would get home, I send a text message and let him know the general status of things. So I have a reminder on my phone at 3:59. It tells me to send him a note. So assuming that he is not traveling, then I send a note that's if one of the kids had something come up that he needs to know about, I can send a one-liner that's here's what happened. I can talk to you about it later. Or just a heads up, this happened. If I'm really frustrated, I'll be like, I'm very frustrated. When you get home, I need a break. And that way I am doing a better job communicating, because that's one of my lesser qualities, is that I think a lot of things in my head, but I don't actually say them out loud. And he can't work with what's in my head. He can only work with what I say out loud to him. So I'm letting him know where we are, where I am. And so he's prepared when he comes to the door. But it also, other half of the coin, is that it makes me check in and be like, how are things going? Patricia, are you stressed? Like it allows me to check in and be like, okay, like are my shoulders tight? Am I like clenched up? Do I need to relax the back of my tongue because I'm clenching my jaw? Like it makes me check in with me. So immediately when I check in with myself, I now like I have the skills to be like, oh, look, you are not in a good place. Like, is there something you could do right now that would lower your stress a little bit? Like, can I climb higher on the stress ladder to like more safety rather than being underwater and drowning? Can I get out of the water a little bit? And in my work with many clients, what I usually see is the reason that we get so dysregulated is because we didn't know that we were actually dysregulated earlier. Like we didn't know when we were half dysregulated or like 3/4 dysregulated. Like it's only until the doo-doo hits the fan that we're like, oh wow, I'm really upset. So a lot of the work we do is cluing into like, how do you know that you are upset? How do you know that you're frustrated? How do you know that you're overwhelmed? And listening to those clues. Because for some people, they feel it in their body. And some people, that's how they hear their thoughts. And some people, it's a gut feeling. Like everybody's different in those clues that they get. But when we've ignored them our whole lives, we don't realize that we're getting really upset. So it's cluing in to know like, what are the signals that you get to know that you're getting upset so that we can do something about it before it hits volcano stage. So for me, that check means I'm pausing and being like, how am I doing? Not good. Time to ask for help. Or, oh, okay, I think I'm all right. Or even if I'm just like, I'm okay, but not great, like I can still do something quickly that will help me calm down. And I'll link my 10 ways to calm down video when Medusa Mom starts showing up. Like I'll link that in the show notes too. patriciasun.com/calm. And that check-in helps me a lot. And even if my husband's traveling, I still have that alarm there. And it's still like, okay, my kids have been home for an hour and a half. How is this going? Do I need to do something different? Like, do I need to like pull an audible and do something different so that the evening goes better? Like, do I need to say to my husband, like, you need to pick up dinner, like cooking's not happening? Or do I need to say, cooking's not happening, I gotta go like grab takeout? Like that check-in allows me to pause, adjust, change the plan if needed, and then include my partner in so that we're on the same page. And that's really what I love about our marriage counselor is that he always comes back to, how do you work together as a team? How do you come back together to be on the same page? And this check-in requires me to tell my husband, here's what's going on. Like it's also on him too to be like, if this was like a really rough day for him, he can say, hey, I had a rough day. I'm going to have to take a couple minutes before I engage. Like that communication point has really helped. So that is number 4. This 4 p.m. status check-in text has made a really big difference. And then number 5, I keep my library card in my library bag. So I have like this really nice tote bag. It has a zipper pocket. So I keep the library card in the zipper pocket. And when we come back from the library with all of our books in the bag, the kids will stack the books up on top of the coffee table. Sometimes I do it. And then as they read the books, it is their responsibility to put them back in the bag. So that way, when it's time to go to the library, all the books we've read are already in the bag and we can just take the bag to the library and the card's already in there. And then we can check out the next set of books. Now, we also usually go to the library whenever we go to piano lessons because the library is right near piano lessons. So there is the concept of, 1, bundling things together that make sense. So we're going to go to piano lessons every week. So I bundle returning library books, which I could do anytime, with the thing that I'm already doing because it's close by. And sometimes we'll just pick up our holds that we requested online and return the books and be on our way. And sometimes we'll sit there and hang out at the library for a little bit if my kids need more books or if I just need them to be entertained for a few minutes. Like if my husband's been traveling and I'm like, I need to change pace and I need something to entertain them. That's not me. Like the library is a great place to do that and it's free. It's indoors. So if the weather's bad, like I love me the library. Something fierce. I love the library. Now, I know that there's a lot of kids with ADHD who do not like reading. So a little side tangent here. As a teacher, I can tell you that it is possible for kids to tolerate reading, if not love reading, when it is a subject they really like and when it's at the level that they can do so easily. And there comes in a whole lot, like this is a very in-depth conversation and part of me is like, should I even bring up this side quest? I just want to give parents hope that you can find books that your kid loves. Like ask the librarian, be like, my kid is this old, say they have dyslexia or whatever, they're just struggling with reading. And can you give me some suggestions? And doing read-alongs is really great. So like every night, not every night, because sometimes we don't have time, but like we usually have a chapter book that we're reading together, me and the boys, and we read one chapter every night before bed. So them listening to you read is also great. Audiobooks are great. Our library, you can check out the electronic books that you can see the words on the page. Like you can see the book and it has the audio reading it. And usually it like highlights the word that they're on as it talks. Not always, but sometimes. Like there's so many ways to make this more accessible and easy for your kid. But a lot of times there is a lot of shame and embarrassment and they don't want to admit that like they're not doing as well as the other kids in their class. And like if they're struggling reading, like they don't want to read a baby book. They want to read a big kid book like their friends can, but they also don't want to read the big kid book because it's harder. Like ask for help. The librarians are excellent at what they do most of the time. And if they don't know, then they'll know another librarian who can help with that. Like reach out to this very free network to help your kid. Is worth a try. If it doesn't work, I understand, but I love me some library. Anyway, side tangent. Close it off. Okay, back on track, Patricia. Okay, so it was bundling things together with something else. So the fact that we do the library on piano day, and then putting the library card in the library bag, but like it's in a zipper pouch, so we aren't gonna lose it. But rather than keeping it in my wallet, it is there in the bag because the bag goes with us. And then my kids can do the little self-checkout machine computer thingy, like put the thing where you use it, even if it's not the most conventional. And then you have a routine or a rhythm, if you don't like the word routine, is that when we come home, we empty the bag, put it out, all the red books go in the bag, and then the bag can just go back. So we have this system that like is not perfect because sometimes my kids forget to put the books in the bag. And then, then we have to go through all the books and be like, did you read this one? Did you read this one? Did you read? And sometimes we have to do that. But generally speaking, it runs fairly smoothly. And my kids know that's the rhythm to it. And so it gets easier with time. And, I don't expect them to be perfect. I wish they were. But even if they do it 80% of the time, it makes it easier. So creating these little patterns of doing things a certain way, again, takes the decision requirement off your plate and makes it easier. So that was kind of like a 3-in-1. Bundling it with something similar, keeping the things you need, like in the place you actually use them, and then creating that rhythm around it so that there's not as much like thinking. So reviewing, there was number 5. Number 1 is writing the list and just recycling it. Number 2 was the medicine pillboxes for the whole month. Number 3 was the Alexa routines that keep me on track. Number 4 is the 4 p.m. status check text with my husband. And number 5 was the triple library one. So these are 5 plus bonus hacks that are making my life easier. And then once you learn those skills that make sense for like the way that you do things, you can then apply those over and over again in other places in your life. Create other visual reminders of things that need to get done. Put other things next to the things where you actually use them. Bundle things together so that you can run 2 errands at one time. Any way that you can take decisions and effort off your plate and make them easier for you is super helpful because you are one human with varying capacity and already responsible for a lot of things. So any way we can make that simpler, round of applause, let's make your life easier. So if you give any of these a try, shoot me a note on Instagram, send me an email, tell me what worked, tell me what didn't. I love hearing from you. And I super love when people write me a note and are like, I listened to something, because then it's not just me sitting here by myself talking to myself. I know that you're there. Ooh, speaking of which, I haven't mentioned in a while. If you have not rated the podcast, please head over to your app and hit 5 stars and leave me a note so that I know you're listening. All right, Successful Mama, I will talk to you very soon.
For more resources, classes, and community, head over to my website, motherhoodinadhd.com.